Warning, this video is not intended for experienced players.
This is Hitman 2-3. 2-3,
What's going on everyone, it's Fire. If you haven't seen tutorial number 1 on how to become a better squad player, click on the link here. For this tutorial, we'll go over the basic communication and thorough communications between your teammates. Hopefully, you'll use these points to better yourself in your upcoming games. Let's go over the basics. Phonetics are used to identify letters to avoid similar sounding alphabets, such as A for Alpha, B for Bravo, C for Charlie. Pause this to take a glimpse of all the phonetics as it will often come in handy. Now that we know the phonetics, we can take a look at the map. You'll notice x-axis and the y-axis. The x-axis represents all the letters, and the y-axis represents the numbers. When reading off a grid coordinate, read off the x-axis grid, and then the y-axis. Let's take a closer look at the map. You'll notice that it consists of many boxes. To make this easier, the highlighted box is part of the grid reference. So, A1, or also known as Alpha 1, is outlined by a darker line. Within Alpha 1, there are 9 smaller squares. This is the same as your numpad on the keyboard. The numbers refers to your keypad. So when calling out the enemies, for example, it will be Alpha 1 keypad 5. Let's talk about phrases and how to speak accordingly when pointing out for context. We'll use the 3 W's, who, what, and where. First, identify if it's an enemy or a combat vehicle, if it's a contact or a technical. Secondly, what is happening? Are you taking fire or do you see enemy movement? Be precise as this will conclude your squad's actions. So it'll go like this. I'm seeing contacts bearing 195. And lastly, where are you referring to? Is it south, bearing 195, in a house? To be even more precise, is it below or above the hill? How far is it? Give an estimation of 200 meters or 300 meters, for example. Or if they're too far to be shot at.
330, on the mountainside.
Mountainside?
Yeah, they're right up there.
How many we got?
Yeah, like right behind the tree line. 330.
You just ran down the hill towards like this hut in front of us.
Roger.
If a contact is bearing 195 inside a house, aka a compound, it will be. I'm seeing contacts bearing 195 inside the compound. If the contact is moving, you can say contact is on foot, and then the direction they're moving from. Or if there's a tentacle moving, you can say tentacle is mobile. So what direction are they moving from? Announce that they are either moving from right to the left or left to the right. Or go accordingly to the direction they're moving to.
Jimmy, they're coming in from your south. Again.
Copy.
They're between me and you, Jimmy.
Are they still coming from the west? Because we got 2 guys down there.
Moving on to the compass bearing. Bearings are used for pointing out enemy location or enemy directions. Keep in mind that your position matters as your bearings will not be the same as anyone else. So when calling out for enemy locations over local chat, you'll be using the numbers located on the compass. If there's a contact south, you can be more precise by saying the exact number located on the compass. The highlighted box is the direction you're facing and should be the number you call out.
Northwest of us, northwest of FOB, 285.
Drop 1 squad lead near you. That's all good.
There has been a lack of communication and information flow lately. If you're the squad lead, ask what their SITREP, aka situation report, is.
Right in this
It might take more than a few times to get an answer because they're in a firefight or talking to each other. You will want to be actively communicating with your squad and friendlies around you. If you see something, say something.
Same thing.
Whole squad right there.
Copy. Drop 1.
In local chat, you should report at any time you see enemy movements and if taking direct or indirect fire.
Got him.
Coordinate with
Good
friendlies
shit.
around you
Good
if
fucking
contacts has
shit.
been spotted.
Yo, AK.
Let's go.
Then decide whether or not if you should fire or fall back.
Ooh, they have a squad. Don't shoot, don't shoot.
Hostiles right in front of us, squad leader, 75.
We got a
I need
fob.
a shovel.
You know, remember that
Don't shoot
position
him,
we're
don't
in?
shoot him.
That position we're in? Fucking. God damn it. What's that compound? I think that's Bravo.
Yeah. Dude, there's 4 or 5 guys there.
That's a fucking fob there, man. There's no way.
You don't need to always use a squad radio. In fact, it causes radio jam. Too much radio traffic will interfere with your squad. So when should I use my radio? It might seem more than obvious, but only relay useful information such as positions of enemies, vehicles, suspected movement, and possible fobs. Cut down on the radio traffic, especially on non-related chat to the current combat. If you think there's a fob or cache due to enemies surrounding that location, let the squad leader know so that he can mark it on the map. Squad lead to squad lead comm should always relay any information in regard to fobs, enemy locations, or caches. Sharing information as a team is one way to win. If no one is commanding the team, take action as a squad leader by letting other squad leads where you're going.
Level 47.
Always take the initiative if no communication has been made, especially if there is no one on the defensive cap point. It can be very frustrating if each squad lead is relying on each other to make that decision. All of the SLs should talk about placing fobs.
Oh, I see.
Be sure to never place them in an open field or near a road where it would be spotted. If you're going to place a fob, let the other squad leads know beforehand.
Spot was so good,
That
and I can't
will
get
stop
back to
anyone
it.
from spotting somewhere
Ram
farther.
shot me.
Keep in mind that there should always be at least 3 fobs near the attacking and defensive flags. If and when breaching a compound, announce that you're moving in or out from a compound or moving in or out of an area. If tossed on a grenade, yell frag out. If an enemy grenade lands near, simply yell grenade repeatedly. These are just simple things to use to clear any confusion and friendly fire. Now that we have that all cleared up, we're going to use basic military lingo. This is not an accurate form of what the actual military personnel uses. For the sake of using up comms, here is what's commonly used. For example, Roger, copy, or how copy, used in a form of questioning and repeating the message. Mike, which equals minutes, and clicks equals kilometers. You'll hear this very often in game.
AD, come with me.
It's a lot of information to intake, especially if you're new to this. Feel free to pause at any time of this video if needed. Thanks for watching. You can watch me live, playing Squad, and many more games on Twitch. Link is in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe and like for more tutorials and
Dropped
some
another
Squad gameplay.
Yeah, fucking.
This is Fire, and Smokes out.
I think that was the squad lead. Nope, there's another one. Doorway.
We're gonna get a fob down. Come with me. Oh,
I dropped him too.
Click here to find out more about strafing, movement,